I came on here for one specific reason. Stop dragging my cousin's name through the dirt. Stop adding shit on him that don't belong on him. Crazy thing to me is Zaria, she kept going back and forth. She loved him. She should have been left this morning. I'm not trying to be funny. When he was locked up and she ended up doing what she did, and I don't know if y'all know the story, but when she ended up sleeping with old boy, had a little boyfriend on the side, whatever. He come home, she didn't know he was coming home. Found her in the bed, doing what she do, having a little with old boy. He put hands and feet on that girl for hours. Hours. Y'all paint this narrative as if it was some type of down low situation going on. And what I want to let y'all know is, first of all, Obie got bitches, okay? I'ma just say that. He was not a part of the community. Shamarcus knew that he wasn't gonna make it 24 hours. Let's start. He wasn't gonna make it 24 hours. He wasn't. So it was better for him to do what he did to himself before somebody else did something to him. Let's start there, okay?
Yo, face! Yo, your face, please! With sugar on top!
Alright, y'all, now I told y'all I was going to keep y'all updated with this story. It's a lot going on with it, but I think now we finally got the clarity we all wanted, and this should be the end of the mystery. Now, real quickly, for the ones that probably don't know what's going on, there's a man by the name of Shamarcus Carr, aka Mark, aka the Frenchman, who unalived his wife Zaria Carr, aka Duchess Dior, and they both were from Georgia. They were known for going on Facebook Live and expose each other all the time, to the point where the people that knew them would laugh, cheer them on, and even told them that they needed their own TV show. The problem is, even though it may have been fun and games and entertainment for everyone else to watch, it involved domestic violence, where Mark would usually put his hands on her whenever something would go wrong. This was a known thing. It also seemed like Zaria accepted it as the norm because it was just something that they did. However, this time during a Facebook Live, it'll be unlike any other live they had. Things would turn fatal when Mark would warn her not to mention a certain name despite her speaking on everything else. He didn't care until she mentioned a name which happened to be Obie. Now, Obie's name was really Obie, and it's like when she mentioned that name, his whole attitude shifted. It got to the point where he told her the first time that if she mentioned that situation, she was going to die. She must have thought he was playing because she mentioned a bunch of other things and he didn't say anything. Long story short, she proceeded to get on live and threatened to mention what happened with the Obie guy, and that's when the live ended. Well, it would come out that Mark attacked her, but this time, he beat her so bad she was unconscious to the point where police arrived, took her to the hospital, and then she was pronounced deceased. Mark took a Dodge Challenger and proceeded to drive off, and when the cops finally caught up to him, before they could arrest him, he would take his own life with a self-inflicted bullet wound. Question is, what was it about the Obie guy that triggered him that much? Well, most of us thought she was probably going to expose that he may have had a down low situation with Obie and didn't want his business getting out there. However, that wasn't the case. Come to find out, Obie's name was actually Obie. Obie was a friend of Mark's who Mark set up and got unalived and even went to his funeral as if he didn't even know what happened. Zaria was going to reveal this involvement, and according to family members, Obie come from a family tree of guys who mean serious business, and Mark knew that if word got out about it, he was just as good as deceased anyway. So we have Obie's cousin who's speaking out about what happened and what really went down between Obie and the Frenchman. So we're going to get into that, but before we do, make sure you hit that thumbs up button so we can get this video into the algorithm, and if you not subscribed to the platform already, make sure you do so now. Let's get into it.
So first of all, I just want to say this to my auntie because I know you're going to be very upset at me. But I had to say something. I know everybody in the family is asking me, let it go, let it go, let it go. And I tried. I really did. I know online y'all know them as Frenchman and Duchess. But to me, I know them as Shamarcus and Zaria. With that being said, I want to clear a few things up about my cousin. Because at the end of the day, it needs to be said. All I keep hearing online is Odie this, Odie this, Odie this, Odie this, Odie this. Let's clear something up. First of all, my cousin's name is not Odie. It's Obie. Okay? Let's start there. Secondly, y'all paint this narrative as if it was some type of down low situation going on. And what I want to let y'all know is, first of all, Obie got okay? I'ma just say that. He was not a part of the community. This is not no DL situation. I also want to say this because the narrative that's being painted is not right. First of all, my cousin is deceased, so rest in peace to him. But I want y'all to understand a few things about our family. We got some serious steppers over here. And when I say steppers, I'm not talking about the stuff y'all see on the internet where they posting up. No, I mean, we got them real gangsters that move in silence, okay? Everybody's sitting here trying to figure out, why did Shamarcus do what he did? Well, let me explain to you why. Because there's a couple things y'all need to know. First of all, Shamarcus knew that he wasn't going to make it 24 hours. Let's start. He wasn't going to make it 24 hours. He wasn't. So it was better for him to do what he did to himself before somebody else did something to him. Let's start there, okay? Secondly, everybody's painting this picture as if he pew-pewed Zaria, or if he Zaria, and that wasn't the case. What happened is that boy put hands and feet on that girl. And this wasn't something new. He always put hands and feet on that girl. Okay? Head, shoulder, knees, and toes on that girl. Let's be honest. This time stuff went a little bit too far. It happens. It went a little bit too far. Rest in peace to both of them. Okay? Because it's never right to put your hands on a female. Let's start there. He put hands and feet on this girl so bad that she was unconscious. Now, personally, I feel like she could have made it had she got the medical attention that she needed. But she laid there for an hour and a half. An hour and a half before police had even arrived. Make that make sense. If he really cared about her, you know what he would have did? He'd have picked up the phone and called the ambulance. But he didn't. He didn't. Because he already knew he had fucked up. He had fucked up really bad. Everybody like, well, y'all talking about, she said Odie's name and basically that with the, who the is Odie? It's Obie. But see, the problem was our family started to pay attention, like, because the situation that happened with Obie was fucked up, and we knew it was some foul play. We been knowing it was some foul play. We just been trying to figure out what players was on the chessboard. You feel me? That's what we was trying to figure out. And my auntie been saying she felt like Shamarcus was on some bullshit. Now let's be real. Shamarcus and Obie been friends for a minute. Best friends. Thick as thieves. Obie go get money, he brings Shamarcus. Shamarcus ain't have to worry about no bread when my cousin was alive. Because when Obie rode, he brought Shamarcus. If he got paid, he brought Shamarcus and broke him off. But see, the problem is when you out here getting money, because my cousin wasn't no weak dude. When I tell you he was out here getting that bread, he was getting that bread. Okay, and it might have not have been legally, but he was getting that bread. And the crazy thing about it is the way he was set up, we kept saying, this got to be an inside situation, because the stuff that these people knew didn't make sense. It got to be an inside situation. He knew this whole time that he was a snake dude. He knew this. He knew if it ever came out that he was involved in that situation with my cousin Obie, that he was going to have to give to God. You understand that? Period. He knew this. He knew this. He knew this. So while he was up here pillow talking to Zaria, he ain't realized this whole time you been putting hands and feet on that girl. See, she called the wrong people. What she should have did is called my family and told us the real, but she was so afraid to say something. But she knew if she said something, it was gonna go the way it was gonna go. This boy put hands and feet on this girl for everything she did that he felt or deemed that was unacceptable. But he couldn't do that shit with my cousin around. Obie didn't play that putting your hands on female, he didn't play none of that. He didn't play none of that. And see, the more I think back, it's starting to make sense. It's starting to make a lot of sense. And my auntie said, don't get on there, Truth. Don't say nothing. Let it go. We got our justice. And I told my auntie, I said, no, motherfuckers need to know the real. They need to know how snake down dirty Shamarcus was. Now, I don't give a about your family, your brothers, your cousins, your aunties, because they all can get it. So, play with me if you want to. I meant that everything on my cousin's grave, they all can get it. So don't come over here with that bull. When your brother is a snake down dirty, he know what he did to my cousin. He know how he set my cousin up. Because see, the was new. Yeah, it was definitely an inside job. And Shamarcus was right there the whole time playing puppet master. You had the audacity to show up at my cousin's funeral. You knew this was gonna come back tenfold. You knew it. And see, what people don't realize about Zaria, everybody talking about she was smiling, she was laughing. That girl would do that. She was nervous. She was scared. Every time he would do that, she automatically knew she had to put her hair up. She knew she had to throw some tennis shoes on so she could try to get up out the door, because this boy always was on that type of timing with her. I don't give a if she was 6 feet tall. That didn't mean nothing. This is a man you fighting against. But see, he knew when she said Obie's name, it was going to be a problem. Because why you bringing up Obie? What you mean with what happened with Obie? And see, I think she tried to play it off by saying Udi. She tried to play it off because she knew if she would have said Obie, everybody in my family would have been like, ain't no Udi. It's Obie. And see, God got a funny way of serving revenge cold, bro. It was better that he did it to himself. It was better. It was better. Because it was going to happen regardless. You can't go around and do that type to people and think you safe on these streets. Family got some serious cold gangsters. I mean, like I said, moving silence type gangsters. Anybody gonna call you on the phone? Anybody gonna threaten you on the internet? We don't do that. This old school shit right here. He knew he had what? Not too many options. Cause see, if he would have went to jail and got locked up, he was gonna get it. If he'd have been on these streets, he was gonna get it. That's why that boy did what he did. That's why he did what he did. Because see, he ain't immune to going to jail. He done did that plenty of times. Been locked up plenty of times. Then put shoulders, feet, and toes on this girl plenty of times. Sad thing is he wanted to make sure she didn't survive. That's why he never called the ambulance. That's why he never called the police. Sorry about that. My baby girl came here. But I'm going to just say this like this to my family. I apologize if I offended anybody, but I had to speak up and say something, because we're not going to play this game like it was a DL situation. No, this was a snake situation. That's what it was. And he knew that he had to do what he had to do before something was done to him. So I'm wondering if some of y'all drinking that Florida water. You got to be. Because some of the comments is just outlandish. Or what? I can clearly tell that some of y'all don't have no real steppers in y'all family. I can clearly tell y'all that. Because the video that I made was to basically clear up some of the things that was being said in reference to my cousin. Rest in peace. That was it. I wasn't coming on here to tell y'all exactly how he got set up. For what? What does that do? Like, y'all be asking the weird whatever. how he got unalived. What? That's too much information. And I'm not putting that out here. My auntie clearly told me, be careful with what you say. Clarify what you need to clarify and keep it moving. And that's exactly what I did. Now, y'all want me to get into detail of how he got set up. What was he doing when he got set? What? Huh? Didn't I just tell y'all we don't do all that talking? I came on here for one specific reason. Stop dragging my cousin's name through the dirt. Stop adding on him that don't belong on him. That's like you putting a body on somebody that didn't do the body. No. I wanted to make it very clear. But since my cousin's been gone for a good minute, when that girl brought up his name, Zaria, when she brought up his name, it made me just like, what? It made my auntie and everybody else in my family, wait, why are you bringing up Obie? That was the point of the video. Because y'all was running with the wrong narrative. That's it. How it happened, where it happened, the details and specifics, look it up if you want to find out some information. But I'm not going to tell you everything. It's no point for me to do that. That wasn't the point for me to come on here for. See, what y'all want me to do is to get on here and start talking too much and start snitching on people. And we don't do that, baby. Quit drinking that Florida water. Quit drinking that Florida water. It's got y'all gone. Real gone. Yeah. Got y'all gone. So, for y'all that don't know, you know, they had a homecoming for Zaria. Yeah, nice balloon release. They also had a homecoming yesterday yesterday at 1 o'clock for Mark, aka Shamarcus. And yeah, we just need to make sure he was really in the ground. That's about all that was about. You know, he got the easy way out. And I'm going to keep saying he got the easy way out. For those of y'all that know, you know. But he already knew what it was going to be. A lot of y'all came over here to my, well, your cousin been dead for a little minute. Why wasn't something done? Because we was not sure. See, let me explain to you. You don't just go out here and put it on people. You don't go out here and assume shit. When you assume shit, you make ass out of you, not me. Spell assume. Probably don't even know how to do it. Look it up if you can't. But you don't go out here and just assume. We had a couple players that we figured probably had something to do with it. But now we know for sure. For sure. That's the difference. See, that's the difference from you young, excuse my language, you YNs and you real gangsters. They don't go make assumptions. They want to know for sure. So when they come for you, they know they coming for the right person. That's the difference. Y'all are slow. Some of y'all slow on this internet. Not to mention the ones of y'all on here talking about, oh my God, I can't stand her nails. Y'all ain't never seen a real nail in your life. Y'all so busy paying them Koreans to do your nails, you don't know how to grow your own. Hell, y'all ain't even got real hair coming out your head. Edges is gone-ish. My hair all the way down my back. Real hair. I'm a natural girly. Something you may not be familiar with. Try growing what God gave you. And you won't have so many damn dumb questions. It's not a claw nail, baby. My nail curves. See that? My nail curves. Curves. It's a real nail. Curve. Real nail. Real. You see this? Real. Wouldn't know nothing about it. Y'all wouldn't know nothing about it because y'all slow. Y'all used to going to get them Koreans to do. You're not used to real nails. You're not used to the real yellow color of your nail. You see that? That's a real fingernail right there. It's slow. Anyway. I was going to come on here and say a few other things. But after y'all started running with the dumbest shit ever, I said, what's the point? I made my point. I said what I had to say. Period. And for the one person that's talking about, well, DL means that it's down low, so you wouldn't know. Just because you don't know your family don't mean I don't know mine. Check that, okay? We real over here. If you want to go suck and lick some do it. We don't discriminate. We real over here. But we keep it real with our family. We ain't got to keep it real with the streets, but we're going to keep it real with our family. Like I said, my cousin was not DL. I stand on it. And for whoever want to believe what they want to believe, baby, go ahead. Have a Coke and smile and shut the up. You heard me? Quit drinking that Florida water. Thank you for the picture. I greatly appreciate it. But sweetheart, let me tell you something. His brother should have took the time to stop him from putting hands and feet on Zaria. That's what he should have did. And he never tried, not one time. See, they thought this stuff was normal. It's not normal for somebody to put their hands and feet on you every time you do something that they don't like. Not to mention his brother was just laid to rest yesterday. Matter of fact, Zaria was laid to rest yesterday. They had a visitation for her on the 20th, had her homecoming on the 21st, had Marcus's homecoming on the 21st as well. It's crazy they both was deceased or unalive the same day and buried the same day. See, God got a funny way of showing you things. You understand that? And the crazy thing to me is he don't know my people like that. He don't. He just running his mouth. Real talk. What he need to be focused on is dealing with the situations he need to deal with when it comes to his family. Okay? It's a baby out here now that don't got a mother and don't got a father. That's what he need to be worried about. But while he posting all of that stuff up, never once did he come to my page and say not nan thing. Make that make sense. Because he already know I ain't the one to play those games with. I ain't. We ain't never been no suckers over here, and ain't nobody ever brought a lollipop. Okay? He can say what he want to say. But the real question is why didn't you do something to step in as a brother? You thought the was sweet. You thought it was acceptable for a man to put hands, feet, shoulders, and toes on a woman. That's what you thought. And the crazy thing to me is Zaria, she kept going back and forth. She loved him. She should have been left this man. I'm not trying to be funny. When he was locked up and she ended up doing what she did. And I don't know if y'all know the story, but when she ended up sleeping with old boy, had a little boyfriend on the side, whatever. He come home. She didn't know he was coming home. Found her in the bed doing what she do, having a little with old boy. He put hands and feet on that girl for hours. To the point she had to run up out the house naked to get to the police station. Because he done so much and this fool follow her. Then after he follow her and realized the police know that he done put hands, shoulders, knees, and toes, he take off. And the police got to go after you. What you pull up for, fool? Dumb shit. But as a brother, in the Bible it says, I'm my brother's keeper. So why didn't you do something to keep your brother from making a disaster and a mistake that he just made? You knew your brother was a snake, and never once did you tell him the moves you making in the street gonna mess around and get you done up, bro. You ain't never tell him that. You ain't never try to do nothing to keep your brother out of jail. You ain't never tell him that. So don't go and get on the internet now crying, talking about how you miss him, how this, and that. Don't do all that. Don't do all that, because when he was here, you wasn't in his life being beneficial. See, when it come to my brothers, I see him doing something wrong, I'm stepping up. I see him putting their hands on a female, I'm clocking it. We don't play them games over here. We real people. You understand that? And you putting your hands on a person, one day you're going to go too far. One day you're going to go too far. And for her, she felt like he was on here airing her out. And she had that clutch in the bag on it. She had that clutch. So she said, you know what? Let me throw this out, say Udi. Let me just throw it out there. Because he know if he keep talking on me, I got some shit to talk on him about. The problem was that she was playing the wrong game, baby. See, he talking about you sleeping with this dude and that dude. You talking about him setting somebody up. You talking about he with the wrong family. You talking about him doing the wrong thing. See, when you went there, he already knew his days was numbered. He knew his time was coming up. He knew that my family was not going to play them games with him, baby. He knew that. He knew that. That's why he kept that secret. But what he should have did is kept that motherfucking secret to itself. Because let me tell you something, the only person can tell on you is yourself when you don't run your motherfucking mouth. See, he thought, I can get on here and say whatever I want to say about her. She ain't gonna say nothing about me. At least not that. You playing a deadly game, baby. A deadly game. And I'm sorry to say, I don't feel sorry for his family, not one bit. People ask me, why did you say rest in peace, baby? I meant rest in piss. I don't give a about his family, what they going through, how they feel, period. At 1 o'clock yesterday, we was just trying to make sure he was asleep. Making sure he was really asleep. That's what we was trying to make sure. For real, for real. The only beautiful ceremony was Zaria's. Period. The balloon release, that was the only beautiful thing. But like I said, they both unalived the same day, buried the same day. Different churches, you know, stuff like that. But it's crazy, same day. God got a funny way of putting stuff in you, putting intuition in there. Mind you, this girl knew that it was a matter of time before this boy took her from her kids. She could feel it. She had already left that day. Dropped the baby off at the babysitter. She had already left that day. Why did you come back? Why did you come back? And then playing this game with him, going back and forth. Baby, somebody tell you they gonna do it till you believe them. Believe them. Somebody tell you they gonna put you under, baby, believe them. Because you ain't got to tell me twice. You ain't got to tell me twice. You ain't got to do it. You tell me one time you gonna do it to me, baby. I'm strapped up, cocked and ready to go. I got 16 friends that'll let you know. You understand that? The problem is we as people think everything is a joke. It's a game. And in life, will tell you exactly who they is. They will show you who they is. Point blank and simple, she knew what this boy did to my cousin. She should have left him alone because that'll set up his best friend. A that'll set up that's putting money in his pocket, helping you and your family eat. That same do the same to you. See, sometimes you laying next to the enemy and don't even know. But you gotta listen to what a man tell you. You gotta listen to what a female tell you. If you would, she say, I'll cut your throat. Believe it. Believe it. That's the problem with people. They think everybody joking and playing. Oh, he love me. Oh, she love me. Love will get you caught up in the wrong way, baby, and take you from the people that really do love and care about you. Real stuff. Real stuff. His brother, he was a weak. I said what I said. Because a real brother would have got his brother in check. For real, for real. I mean that on everything I love. He could post up, say whatever he want to say. Don't mean to me. I know who my cousin is. I know who my cousin was. And at the end of the day, his words don't penetrate over here. Not a damn thing. He's a weak dude, like I said, and I'm going to keep standing on that. Period. May him and his family be what it is. And may his brother rest in peace. Or what's understood don't need to be explained. Period.
Alright, y'all, there you have it. To this day, I still don't know why Zaria would make street business and reveal something like that with their own relationship issues. One thing didn't have to do with another. But I do believe in divine timing. I do believe that everything happens for a reason. And whatever reason, both of them are no longer here. That's up to them and God. And y'all do have to remember that they did say that they both was playing with root work. A lot of people don't understand. For example, right? She said that they were both unalived the same day. And then they both were sent off the same day, which means they both had funerals the same day. How crazy is that? It's not just a coincidence. Y'all gotta remember, they was dibbling, dabbling, and root work. She said that he put a love spell or tried to put a love spell on her. And for y'all that know spirituality, y'all know that you're not supposed to do that because it always becomes just not what you intended to be. Somehow, some way, you end up getting the bad end of the stick, and it's just what it is. Now, I feel she felt guilty that he was exposing everything and embarrassing her, and she didn't have much to say as a rebuttal. So being that she didn't have anything to expose, she went the route of exposing his street secrets because she knew that that would get to him. She first mentioned how he tried to backdoor one of his friends named Quan. Then she mentioned how he tried to talk to his other friend Squeeze's girl. And then she was about to speak on Obie, and We seeing how that held up. Y'all jump in the comments, let me know what y'all think about all this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'ma keep on dropping. I'm out.